So, you know, a lot of people say, like, you know,
Got food getting cold.
You're interrupting the video.
Good.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with Julian for another video. So a couple days ago I put on my Instagram if people would rather see a video about maintaining a healthy relationship during undergrad or post-grad, and although post-grad got more votes, we decided we will do both. So this particular video is going to be about post-grad, and when we say post-grad we mean people who are about to graduate soon, meaning you're in college or you graduated pretty recently, maybe in like the last few years, or maybe you just graduated this past May. What we're really talking about is the transition from undergrad to postgrad, whether you're in a relationship from undergrad to postgrad, or whether you are wondering what, you know, differences there will be in dating from undergrad to postgrad.
well, our topics are going to be expectations of quality time, communication, distance, movement in the relationship, and growth as an adult. Yes. So when you're talking about expectations of quality time, you know, quality time being
I'm gonna put like a
yeah. So when you talk about quality time, you know, it's making sure that, you know, the time that you do spend together is meaningful and you don't take it for granted.
So an example of that is in undergrad, you are pretty much always 20-30 minutes away from whoever you're trying to hang out with, whoever you're trying to talk to. And depending on where you are post-grad, that's not the same. So quality time has to become much more quality after post-grad. So for instance, if you in undergrad, you guys pretty much have the same schedule. You have classes during the day and then you have to study, and you know, you may go to similar events and stuff like that on campus, and all of that is not the same after you graduate. So your quality time is going to change. So maybe you will spend a lot of time simply watching TV, Netflixing, sitting in the library, but that's not going to be quality enough for you once you graduate, when you realize you only see each other once a month or twice a month, depending on how close you live to each other.
So you know how you hear people say a lot, I want quality time, not quantity time. You know, it's meaning like we could spend 4 hours together throughout the day, but we didn't really do anything. Once you graduate, especially if you're in a long distance relationship, it kind of becomes both. They both become important. So that means, you know, putting the effort in to meet up with each other and spend that time together, and both making sure that, you know, you're checking in on your partner. You're being very mindful of being together and everything. You know, your partner's the center of your attention the entire time, and you kind of make them feel important, because you know, the main way you're going to spend time together is over the phone, right?
Which goes into our next topic.
Yeah. Communication.
So as always, communication is important. However, it becomes 20 times more important after you graduate, because sometimes your only means of talking is through the telephone, is through texting or FaceTime, and sometimes that's the only way. You know, if you have something to say in undergrad, you can just go see them at the dining hall, go to the library, meet them there. But you can't drive 2 hours, hour and a half, 20 minutes even sometimes to tell somebody something simple. Now you have to simply call them, text them, FaceTime them, and a lot of times your schedules may not be the same. Maybe I'm free in the morning and he's not. So it's just, you have to come up with schedules of when you can talk, and you know, what are you going to talk about. Your conversations will probably become much more quality because you will have so much more to talk about, since you don't spend a lot of time together.
Communication, my tips for that is, one, don't be afraid to communicate the tough things. two, you can never communicate too much your feelings. Like for example, like Alexandra, one thing about her is she's like extremely expressive about how she feels, right? And it's like, it took me a while to get used to it because like she'll call me one day and like in the middle of a phone call, she's like, I'm sad. And like for the longest time I thought like, oh, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Like, is she about to cry? Like, is she like in a deep funk right now? Which I mean, you might be in a funk, but like her saying I'm sad is just her saying like, I'm starting to feel a little gloomy. Like, you know how you just like randomly start to like feel like, I came to realize that like that's how she's feeling, and she's just letting me know that, which that could be, that we might not be used to that, but it's important to do that because, I mean, you become more in tune with your partner the more and more you do that with each other.
Our next topic is growth as an adult. And the reason I bring up post-graduation depression is because, you know, when you graduate, a lot of people expect to have a job or to be doing something in their field, you know, right after they graduate. And for a lot of people, that's not what happens. So another reason why it's really important to communicate is because, you know, you expect yourself to be somewhere after graduation and you may not be there. And it's important to, you know, check on each other and make sure like everybody's good and that they're moving forward. Are you getting your applications done for grad school? Have you contacted people you want to recommend you? Have you written your essays? Have you applied to those jobs? Have you looked at what you want to do? You know, that's really important because you kind of want to support each other through the next transition because you're kind of just going into a whole other place in your life. So it's important to just check on each other because I know sometimes I get sad because I'm not where I want to be, and I'm lucky to have somebody who is you know, graduated with me, so they understand like the real world is hard. And you know, it's not, you can't just jump into what you want to do. Some people are lucky enough to do that, but not everybody.
I mean, you're going to be going through a really rough kind of transition in your life, whereas like you're living with, I mean, depending on your situation, some people are living with their parents, some people are living on their own, some people are living with a roommate, but more times than most likely you're not going to be moving in with your partner after you graduate, and that's something you're going to have to navigate. Which
goes into the next topic, which is distance. So which plays a huge role, really tremendous role, because that's going to let you know, or it's going to indicate for you whether everything's going to be the same as it was in undergrad. So if you only live 20 minutes apart, then maybe not much is going to change besides the fact that you aren't going to be available to each other all the time because of work. But like for instance, like we live like almost about 2 hours apart. So that means planning months ahead of time. What are we doing in January? What are we doing in February? So when are we going to go to the aquarium, you know, or do you want to get dinner on this day? What time do you get off work? It's hard, and it's a lot of work, and sometimes it's really sad because you're just used to just simply just being like, do you want to just order pizza and watch a movie? You can't do that anymore. You have to just completely just rethink everything, and a lot of times money becomes a factor because of gas or deciding where to go, and then you have to figure out, how am I going to get there? Am I taking a train? Are you driving? You know, well, how much the tickets cost to do this? It becomes harder, especially when you start working or if you start going to school again, and your schedules change. So that's something to keep in mind.
Or don't be discouraged because of the distance, and also let the future be your motivation. Because
that's a bar.
That's a dumb bar.
Let the future be your motivation.
Yes, because I mean, if you're with your partner and you'll have a very healthy relationship, and your goal is to one day, you know, tie the knot, move in together. If that's your goal, then I mean,
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, when I FaceTime Allie and everything and I hang up, I'm like, I can't wait until the day that,
We can just talk face to face every day.
yes, if I were to give any advice regarding distance, really, I would say, it's just like, you really have to keep your word. Like, because when you see each other less and you fold, the fold becomes that much more detrimental. Because, like, when you...
It's a major fold.
It's a major fold.
It's like folding cardboard. No, it's like folding like titanium or something. That's a major fold.
Yeah.
It becomes so much more important because like those are your only moments that you have together. Those are the only things you have planned for who knows how many weeks.
Yeah,
so it just becomes, it's just much more. If you are in school and it's a Wednesday and you typically have lunch every Wednesday and you say, oh, I can't come to the dining hall today, it sucks, but whatever, you'll see them later. If you fold and we're supposed to go to Hershey Park, I don't know, the first week of March, and then like you can't go anymore, then it's just, you have to just rethink the whole schedule. You have to have so much planned out and you have to rethink the whole schedule, and then that becomes, okay, well, when are we gonna go, or when's the next time I'm gonna see you? Or you could have really been looking forward to seeing the person and then now you have to wait another 2 weeks when it's already been about a month. So it just becomes, you just have to become much more reliable. You have to be a much more reliable person.
When you fold and don't follow through with plans, unless you talk about it and give your reason and stuff like that, the message that is sent subliminally is, I don't care about the plans. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's very
Which
important.
the message, I feel like that message could be the same in undergrad. It's just much more detrimental.
Yeah, it's detrimental because, like, when I'm seeing you once a month, it's like, okay, I'm barely seeing you at all, and you're acting like you don't care that you can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what's the deal?
My advice when it comes to distance, I would say, I feel like it's the same advice I would give for honestly any of these topics, is just make the most of the time that you spend together. And also make the plans that you have fun. Make them something to look forward to. Because for me, when I'm like working 2 weeks at a time and like I may not really like my job and my life becomes very monotonous, because in undergrad I feel like your life is very spontaneous. You always have something to do, you always have someone to see, you always have something to work on. Once you graduate, your life can become very monotonous. It's just, you have a 9 to 5, which you may like or you may not like. And then most weekends you may be doing the things that you don't have time to do during the week. So even like it's not just in a relationship, but even with friends too, like just making plans and having something to look forward to is what really brings me through my week. So if I know in 2 weeks we're going to a concert or something, that kind of gets me through the day because that's something I can look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Last topic that we have for post-grad is movement in a relationship. And that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm in Philly and Allie's in Maryland, so I want to move to Delaware so that we're closer. No,
not physical movement.
Yeah, we're talking about like progressing, like
growing.
Yeah.
So it's talking about direction, which I think is very important for a lot of people, because you don't want to become complacent. Just in general in life, you don't want to be complacent. That's why I think some of the topics like growing as an adult and movement is, they kind of just, what's the word, intersect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to grow as a working professional. You want to move forward in your job, or you want to get your next degree, but also you want to move in your relationship too. That can mean a lot of things. So that could mean engagement, marriage, different things like that. Like creating, I don't want to say create a timetable, because like you don't have complete control over when things happen in your life, but just both having that awareness and that shared goal.
Goal, yes.
Yeah.
I think goal is the main word.
That brings up an important part that we didn't have as a topic, but I think when you're about to graduate, everyone needs to have the conversation, which I feel like that conversation basically entails where do you want to go and what do you want to do. And that can even be physically too. Like, not everybody is somebody who feels like, oh, like if we both graduated from the University of Delaware, not everyone feels like, oh, well, that means I have to stay local. Some people are like, no, I want to go to UCLA. I want to go to Hawaii. You know, like, you have to have that conversation too, because like at the end of the day, like, if you really care about somebody, you don't want to hold them back. So like if someone wants to go far away for school, you have to talk about what does that mean.
Because some people are like, I mean, like, if someone wants to go to school, move on to the West Coast and everything, some people be like, no. I mean, I don't do the whole long distance relationship thing. Like, that can't be me. It's not because of you, it's just because I don't do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't talk about it, then it creates kind of an awkward situation.
When it does happen,
yeah.
And you're just kind of like, that blinking about
Yeah, like, it's like, you get a call on the phone, babe, I'm moving. Oh, really? Where? To California.
Down the street.
Oh, you coming to Maryland? Oh, California.
You just have to have shared knowledge of what each person expects and what your goals are. You have to make goals. Set a loose timetable. Don't make a timetable, period. I learned that real fast. That nothing in life is going to go exactly how you plan it. You are not going to graduate from grad school when you think, get married when you think. It's just not gonna work like that. But just make a loose timetable and create goals, and also just help support each other and help each other grow. Just even another topic that I never thought of until recently is that you guys may move differently in your lives.
Yeah.
So like one person may go straight to grad school, another person may have to wait some time. One person may get a really great job, the other may not. One person may figure out what they want to do, and another person may be still, be like, I don't know what I want to do. And it's just up to you guys to help each other navigate that and just figure it out. And also, it's not a race, and just to be happy that the other person is just moving forward, and you just have to support each other through that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my general advice for just the topic of the entire video is really just to grow. Just grow. Like, that the person should be your best friend, and you're supposed to be supporting them through everything. So whether it's with their education, their job, or whatever they decide to do, YouTube, I don't know, singing, dancing, whatever, just to support them through all of it, and just realize that once you graduate, you're just stepping into just a whole new place with just new possibilities. And honestly, you can do anything, but that also means like you guys are both just, anything is available to both of you, and so you just kind of have to support each other and motivate each other through everything. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video today. If you have anything else that you would like to add, and you came up with some tips and advice that you think a lot of people should know, just comment it, or if this is on Instagram that you're seeing this, put it down below, or DM me. I don't whatever. It's however you want to do it. Hit the like button, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll probably put it here or here or here. I don't know where I'll put it. I'll put it somewhere. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.